going on, guys? I have 26 minutes. So, let me take y'all back, man. When I was 24 years ago, I was born on December 11th, in the middle of the afternoon when the sun was at its highest point. And I was supposed to be born on Christmas, but instead I crawled out on December 11th, 1999. And I had to be C-sectioned, forced out on that date, and my mother's umbilical cord was wrapped around my neck, so I was dying. The process that your body goes through when you die, I was experiencing as I was being born. So they took me away from my parents, and they put me in a helicopter, and they flew me as high up as possible, and they flew me to the closest hospital north, taking me away from my parents and locking me away north of New York City. I then went on to leave New York and move to Vermont with my family, where my father had 40 cabins. My grandmother, Carol O'Brien, had bought my father Gary Francis O'Brien, who was known as Gary the Legend, at Mount Snow, where he taught CEOs of Fortune 500 companies children how to ski, and he lived as a ski bum in ski chalets with wealthy elites you would consider to be reptiles or highest level Freemasons or possibly ancient bloodline families that have been around for centuries. Have been around for a long time, bruh, yerd. We don't fuck with losers around here, bruh. Why don't you get a gym membership? Yerd. So, we lived there. My mother, Victoria, my father, Gary the Legend O'Brien, and me, Casey Francis O'Brien. And then we converted it to a triplex. And the first family that moved in was a Moore family. A Brian, a Tyler, a Brian, a Danielle, and a Jada. Moore, M-O-O-R-E, with the O'Brien family that owned it. And then a woman named Melissa, whose last name is only held by about 1,000 people across the world, from an ancient little tiny hill in Czechoslovakia, where they used to ride dragons. And they have her first one that lived with us was an Aries named Ariana, and her second was Jessie, named after Jesus, who is a Leo, and I'm a Sagittarius, so we're all fire signs. And we grew up together for the first couple years before my dad lost the house as some kid burned our barn down. When we had 40 cabins, we had everything we needed to become a millionaire very quickly, but we got sabotaged. And my father lost it because the evil would take over. He'd get violent out of nowhere. My mom would instigate because they have extreme severe trauma their whole life. But I remember back then knowing that those cabins that were full of raccoons would, if I had just asserted myself and done what I thought was right and spoke my truth and just said what I wanted to say in everyone's face, regardless of how they felt about what I felt was the perfect solution to fix all of our problems and enhance our quality of life, the way that I saw it so easily come to my mind. But I haven't for my whole life. I've been either leading my own little independent charge, and I don't bring anybody along except for one person at a time, or I hold my tongue because I'm afraid of getting beaten and raped. But I've always known that there was something bigger going on that I was a part of. Can you see this? It's called Cernunnos. I didn't put that there, but that's the Irish god of the wild. So I'm very excited, at least to help you all free yourselves from your demons and see what I've always known. I want to thank you guys for supporting me, even if you watch just to see me fail. We made it. Last year, I called that season of my TV show the Sundance Saga. And I called this year the Storm. And everything I'm learning from Freemason books, and from watching YouTube videos about it, and from just living life, I've realized that I've always known, and I can just pick out behaviors in my photographic memory of moments where I applied that knowledge because I had somehow always and already known it. I was just here to share it. The streetlight blew up. So, my main priority was the space that I could create in my imagination, the universe that I cultivated and crafted, co-creating with the Lord, whoever made this simulation, and I, for decades of my life, piecing it all together, tuning the strings and playing the symphony perfectly. This space I want to share with you all, that I would escape to in my depression, my severe depression, where I'm on the ground and I'm fighting off disgusting monsters, and when I beat them, bodies will show up, crackheads will show up cackling and screaming and violently attack me. And then I get up and go do it again, harder, and then I lead other people through it. Then I pick up different people that I think would be good leaders, and I bring them along with me, and I enhance their life and teach them, only to have them betray me like Judas. And then I cut them off and watch them decay to nothing. And I try my best, and I keep going. It's just one foot after the other, through the cold winters of New England, alone in the woods, in an igloo, to rampaging through the streets of a town that defunded police with only 2 police and over 500 drug-addicted homeless people attacking each other violently every day. And I'm riding right through the middle of it, blasting music in my headphones, singing my favorite song, and whipping a hatchet and bat out at anyone who tried me, scaring them into submission, or invading the mind of a crazy woman who never had a good male role model in her life, but she's beautiful, and if I didn't lunge at the opportunity, someone else would take advantage of her. So I got in before anyone else did, and God allowed me to have these beautiful women. I've lived some type of Neanderthal, Celtic king, Robert Baratheon, Sean Spencer from Psych, Michael Weston, secret agent, nomad, king in the north, legend, Irish legend. I've been awarded, and what I've been told is that as a 33 life path, you have to go through everything to be able to be allowed to try this challenge. To be a 33 life path in numerology, in whatever system we go to once your game ends and you go back up and you're like, would you like to start over? When my soul chose this at the most important time in history, when the world is splitting, maybe the most important time. One of the biggest transitions in spirituality on the planet, one of the biggest shifts in consciousness. To be a 33 life path is one of the most challenging. Because we have to deal with so many different aspects of life at once that other people don't. My biggest problem as a 33 life path is that I have leaders that won't allow me to shine over them. They didn't read The Art of War, where the Rule of Power, where it says, don't outshine the master. So I come into these people's lives as I'm descending from the mountain over to this public space. And I'm going to have tons of people that will feel my natural light and my genetics and my years of compression into this focused leader. And I'm going to go in here and I might have a lot of knowledge that all these people would need to hear. Like, all these people would probably get a lot out of just sitting down and letting me tell my stories about invading cities and singling out leaders and pushing my agenda and influence in songs, or different stories about people I met and where they went wrong and what they did right. Stories about my dad that seemed like distant stars that used to be so close. It's like the keys on my piano have spread out so far, it's hard to play them. But that could just be because there's a tentacle spider monster tapeworm in the ether that wants to keep me from achieving my full power. Or maybe God is making it wait. Maybe it's going to keep going until I'm ready because I have to pass it to achieve the next thing. But regardless, we're here. I could start live streaming tomorrow. When I was born on the 11th, God played every major 7th chord. The clouds opening, crowds form, corpses spilling, fell around the boy. There's an aura green and gold, a legend who can't die until the story's told. Is it closed? Is it closed? Alright. They're closed. It seems like McDonald's is closed too. I said they should be opening in a few minutes. Brother deer, good medicine. That's what so part of the 33 life path is wait, come on, all the way over here. No, we're going to McDonald's, we're going all the way up. Forward, come on, gallop like a force of 1,000 horses. There we go, now fly. We got it, come on. Don't be stingy, light your fire and push through the dark matter, bro. We got it. That's right. We're gonna get a fucking